Good day, I'm Stacey Ann Smith and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, August 11. Finance Minister Dr. Peter Phillips says the Petrocaribe debt buyback will reduce Jamaica's debt by nearly $300 million. Government recently used $1.5 billion of the $2 billion raised on the international capital markets to pay down on the over $3 billion owed under the Petrocaribe agreement.
This transaction has the effect of lowering the debt to GDP ratio by approximately 10% given the difference in the principal amounts. Equally important, the money used to fund the purchase of the Petrocaribe debt requires that for the first 10 years, we only make interest payments. There are no principal repayments.
The finance minister said the transaction would also improve Jamaica's risk profile, therefore attracting better interest rates from prospective investors. He added that because of the transaction, the Petrocaribe Development Fund would now pay Jamaica's central government and not Venezuela.
Payments from the Petrocaribe Development Fund will allow further the government to improve the services that the government provides. This transaction, contrary to what has been said, does not mortgage the future of children not yet born, to end the quote, nor will it require higher taxes as some have sought to suggest.
Corporate area communities served by the Mona Reservoir and Hope water supply system will be facing stricter water restrictions starting tomorrow. The National Water Commission says it's forced to further restrict supplies due to the worsening drought conditions and low levels at the storage facilities. The affected communities will begin receiving water every third day instead of the current schedule where water is supplied every other day.
So for those customers who will receive water on Wednesday, they will no longer receive water on Friday but now on Saturday as a restriction. The communities that will be mainly affected are Augustown, Hope Flat, Mona Heights, Mona Road, Beverly Hills, Hope Pastors, Gordon Town and Environs, Papine, Kentire, plus Vineyard Town and sections of Mountain View.
Customers served by the Constant Spring and Tulloch supply systems will not be affected by the new restrictions. In the meantime, the NWC is recommissioning additional wells in the corporate area and is advising consumers to conserve on their water usage. Government is delivering on a promise to complete 2 housing projects in St. Catherine and St. James that have suffered from delays. Last week, the Housing Ministry signed 2 public-private partnership agreements with Herzog Jamaica Limited to complete the developments at Bernard Lodge, St. Catherine and Green Pond in St. James. The projects were delayed due to issues with the original agreements signed 2 years ago. But the Housing Minister says those issues have been remedied in this contract with the new developer. He says measures have been taken to ensure that prices remain close to the original agreements signed by depositors.
Agreements for sale with those depositors who have kept their funds with us will be honored at the originally stated sales price, but with a 5% escalation, which is normal.
Under the new agreements, 67 one-bedroom units and 276 studios will be built at Bernard Lodge in the first phase. 194 one-bedroom houses, 85 two-bedrooms and 45 serviced lots will be delivered in the first phase of the Green Pond project. Residents of 4th Street in Trenchtown are no longer in the dark. The local government ministry has collaborated with the Agency for Inner City Renewal to install a new solar-powered streetlight along the roadway, which has been without streetlights for years.
If for any chance you have any power cuts, if we have any hurricane, when even JPS is out, this one will be there to supply you with light. So it is a solution which we hope we can find to spread in more parts of Jamaica.
At a community meeting on Friday, 9 streetlights installed by the Jamaica Public Service Company were also officially commissioned into service. South St. Andrew MP and Minister of Transport, Works and Housing Dr. Omar Davies appealed to residents to protect the new lights, which he said was for their own safety.
One of the things we need to ensure is that people feel safe in operating within their community. And the presence of street lights is a very important factor there.
And finally, $28 million has been pumped into the coffers of the Jamaica Athletics Administrative Association, the J3As, for the development of track and field and its athletes. The donation was made recently by telecommunications firms Lime and Flow. It represents a 2-year agreement covering the junior and senior athletics teams, as well as all J3As owned and associated events. Sport Minister Natalie Nita Headley says it's sponsorships like these that will continue to build the sport and maintain Jamaica's dominance as a sprinting nation.
I applaud the JIS this morning for applying these sound business practices, because what you're doing is securing the future of Jamaica's track and field program.
The partnership comes at a time when Jamaica's athletes are preparing for the World Championships in Beijing, China later this month. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stacey Ann Smith. Thank you for watching.